Good morning. Today we'll discuss on salts. What is a salt? A salt is formed when an acid reacts with an alkali. What is a salt? It is formed when an acid reacts with an alkali. An example of a salt is sodium chloride. Sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce sodium chloride and water. This is known as neutralization. When sodium hydroxide is reacted with hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride, the salt, is obtained together with water. This reaction is known as neutralization. An alkali, an acid, gives salt and water. The solution obtained, sodium chloride in water, is heated till dryness. All water is removed. White solid of sodium chloride is obtained. The salt, sodium chloride, has been obtained by evaporation to dryness. It is in powdered state, powder form. The process to obtain the salt from the solution is known as evaporation to dryness. If crystals are required, if crystals of sodium chloride, cubic crystals of sodium chloride are required, we have to do crystallization. Crystallization is a process. What we do in this process, we take sodium chloride solution, we heat to half its volume. A concentrated solution is obtained. The concentrated solution is allowed to cool. The hot concentrated solution is allowed to cool slowly. White cubic crystals of sodium chloride will be obtained. This is known as crystallization. Cubic crystals. A salt can be hydrated. We call it hydrated salt. A hydrated salt contains water of crystallization. The water present in the salt is known as water of crystallization. An example of a hydrated salt is CuSO4.5H2, copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. Copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate, CuSO4, there's a dot, 5H2. The 5H2 is the water of crystallization. This is copper 2 sulfate, extra pure. It is blue in color. It contains 5 water crystallization. Pentahydrate means 5, so it's blue in color. Small amount is removed, has been removed. This is hydrated copper 2 sulfate. Copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. If copper 2 pentahydrate is heated in a test tube or in a boiling tube, the water of crystallization is lost. It loses its water of crystallization. It becomes anhydrous copper 2 sulfate. Anhydrous salt is obtained. This is white in color. The hydrated copper 2 sulfate has been heated to remove the water crystallization and what is obtained is anhydrous copper 2 sulfate. This is white in color. Its formula is CuSO4. No water crystallization, CuSO4, anhydrous copper 2 sulfate. What is the importance of anhydrous copper 2 sulfate in chemistry? It is used to test the presence of water, or it is used to test whether water is present in a substance. When water is added to anhydrous copper 2 sulfate, hydrated copper 2 sulfate is obtained. It is blue in color. If more water is added, a solution is obtained. A blue solution is obtained. So, anhydrous copper 2 sulfate can be used to test if a liquid is water or it contains water. This is the anhydrous copper 2 sulfate. This is hydrated copper 2 sulfate. This is anhydrous. When this is heated, you obtain this. This is water in a tube. Is it water? So what is the, or does it contain water? So I add a small amount to the anhydrous copper 2 sulfate. It turns blue. If I add more, it will dissolve. You will have a concentrated solution of copper 2 sulfate. So this is water. It is confirmed there is water in this liquid. So slowly, the white anhydrous copper sulfate takes the water, become hydrated and dissolve to become copper 2 sulfate solution. So we have two types of salt. There are other types of salts also. This is anhydrous salt, hydrated salt. An example of an anhydrous salt, hydrated salt is copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate, hydrated salt, and anhydrous copper 2 sulfate CuSO4. The use of the copper 2 sulfate anhydrous is used to test whether liquid is water or it contains water. Thank you very much for your attention. See you another time for another lesson. Good day to you.